Brace yourself, because we're about to hit the brakes hard. That's right. Imagine the Earth suddenly stopping its spin for a full 5 seconds. What kind of damage would this abrupt stop create? What would it feel like in different parts of the world? And when the Earth resumes spinning, would it even be livable anymore? Welcome to Curiosity Unleashed, where we're diving into the chaos that would unfold if our planet paused its rotation for just 5 seconds. The Earth completes a full rotation on its axis every 24 hours, giving us day and night. This rotation began 4.6 billion years ago, back when a massive disk of gas and dust surrounded the Sun. As particles of dust and rock collided and clumped together, they generated forces that set the planet spinning in one direction, much like a figure skater picking up speed. With hardly any resistance in space to slow it down, Earth continues spinning, and will likely do so for billions more years. But what if the Earth suddenly slammed to a stop? Would you be flung right off the surface? In such a scenario, even if the planet halted abruptly, the atmosphere would keep moving. This means that while everything else lurches to a stop, violent winds would still sweep across the surface. Near the equator, where the rotation speed is fastest, winds could reach 1,670 kilometers per hour, powerful enough to throw you off balance. And then some. Forget clinging to anything. These winds would be fierce enough to tear apart the Earth's crust. Whether you're standing in an open field or inside a reinforced building, these gusts would be unstoppable, uprooting houses, tossing cars, and even ripping through concrete structures. These emergency brake winds would be 3 times stronger than any natural storm. And even if the ground under your feet held together, you and just about everything else would likely be sent flying quite a distance. But at least not completely off the face of the Earth. The escape velocity, the speed needed to break free from Earth's gravitational pull and enter space, is about 40,000 kilometers per hour. In places like New Zealand or France, you'd experience slightly weaker winds than at the equator, but at 1,180 kilometers per hour, they'd still be stronger than any storm ever recorded. These winds alone would wreak havoc on everything, but they'd only be part of the danger during those brief 5 seconds. Earth isn't a perfect sphere. It bulges near the equator due to the centrifugal force from its rotation. If the rotation stopped, Earth would rapidly reshape into a perfect sphere. Water currently pooled near the equator would rush toward the poles, creating a massive tsunami. When rotation resumes, this water would reverse, creating a wall of water that would strike twice, demolishing everything in its path. The only safer spots in this scenario might be near the North or South poles, where winds would be mildest. While you might feel a bit of relief as Earth returns to its usual rotation, little would remain of the world we know. Buildings, farmlands, and infrastructure would be reduced to rubble, and most of Earth's population would likely not survive the extreme forces unleashed. If you're planning to survive such an apocalyptic event, an underground bunker might be your best bet. Fortunately, Earth isn't expected to stop spinning any time in the next few billion years. And before then, the Sun will expand into a red giant, but that's a topic for another episode of Curiosity Unleashed.